Here's another 90 that was used at the end of the downspout line. You can see the grass was grown in it. We hit it with the sod cutter. There's a lot of shingle gravel in here. Because there was no catch basins, no leaf filters. Unfortunately, this was the bare minimum. This is what the landscaper gives you for $400, and you get what you pay for. I'll show you what this looks like. This fell out when we were cleaning up, so we're just going to show you. That's the root system to the lawn that grew down through the grate into this 90 fitting because they didn't use a pop-up emitter. It made the shape of the fitting. It's a good root structure, but that clogged it and that flooded his basement right there.
Taking that off, I mean, because that elbow is totally clogged.
All right, so this downspout ran under all this landscape, and then they dumped it right here. Now, this is what we see all the time. So the guys kept this for me until I got here. So this is the discharge end. This is really popular. Guys like to use a T or a 90 and then just put a 4-inch grate on the end. So I just wanted to show you what happens when you do that. You can see all the grass roots growing deep inside. This plugged. So this guy's basement was flooding, and this is why. Instead of taking that a little bit further, which it does need to go a little further to empty the line, because this is super flat right in here, so you want to get this line to drop low. The discharge has to be lower than the rest of the line, otherwise water is going to sit in it. And without a pop-up with a turf restrictor plate, grass is always going to grow over your discharge line. Once that happens, all your hard work is for nothing. All right, so this is a pop-up emitter with a turf restrictor plate. Had this been here, the grass would have never grown over top of this. Now, we're going to use not quite a 90 fitting. You can see the grass roots go all the way down to get all that water. The reason why there was plenty of water is because they didn't run it far enough. We see this a lot. So this line always held water. We're going to do like a mini dry well with the pop-up right here. We got so much fall here that the line upstream, it won't have any water in it. Once the rain is over with, that's it, man. It's dry for the most part, and a little bit of water left, it'll just sit there in that little pop-up elbow and it'll leach away because we do a mini dry well. At another one, they brought the 90 out right here. They didn't take it out far enough, but this was grown over when the guys were trying to find it. You know, this is what it looks like. So when you just put a 4-inch grate in a 90, it doesn't do you any good. You need a turf restrictor plate. This is just going to grow right over that. So people put these on, or landscapers do. I think mostly it's landscapers. I don't think too many homeowners do this hack, you know, because they're basically saving like $5 a downspout by going this route. They don't want to buy a pop-up, so they just buy a 4-inch grate and a 90 elbow. But as all that organic material gets trapped, now you can't discharge the water. Eventually it does clog. So what we ended up doing is running 2 downspouts on 1 4-inch main. Let me show you. So we're down here in the landscape, man, a lot of roots. We got this beautiful leaf filter. The guys ran the copper sock. You can see the copper sock that we put on the pipe. That's because of all the roots. The blue, that's copper sulfate crystals, because we got a hedge of burning bush back here. Guys did a really nice job. They kept that 3-inch line as high as they could so they can get some slope. They start really high and then they drop down here. So then we have this other one. We put it on a small piece of 3-inch line and then tie it right into a 4-inch wide. Now this becomes a main, a 4-inch main line right here. We got our sediment trap, 1 sediment trap for the 2 downspouts. Then you can see the guys take this far out into the front yard where it drops. This entire line is going to be empty. Now the key to having this line empty is not to put the pop-up here. Most people do, believe it or not. The key is to bring it down, let the grate fall. You want this lower than the rest of the line. If this pop-up emitter is lower than 98% of the system, no water will be left in this line. It's impossible because this is lower than this whole line. People are always in my comments saying, my downspout lines hold water. Well, you didn't run them far enough. You got to run them further. And if your yard is that flat, you're on a big lot, no slope, negative slope, then you need to put a pump system in. They all need to go to a crock and then be pumped somewhere. So let me show you what the guys are doing, because we don't have any water in our lines. So right here at the pop-up emitter, they put a bunch of pea stone around the pop-up emitter. Look at this. And this is the biggest key right here. Do not tape the connection point. You see that connection point right there? You snap it onto the pop-up emitter and you don't tape it. Now, do not drill holes in the not quite a 90. It's not necessary. The water is going to leak from here like a sieve. Just put a bunch of pea stone around it, over dig the hole, make this like a mini dry well. That way the water that's left in this fitting can move through the voids of the stone, come in contact with the subsurface soil. The more subsurface soil it comes in contact with, the faster that little bit in that pop-up emitter will leach away after a rain event. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.